What's up, Internet? We are here once again in Pokemon Ruby, where we're gonna try desperately to raise our level so we can punch that idiot Brawly in his stupid face. That's kind of what we aspire to do right now. He's got some high level monsters. I'm thinking we gotta get our entire team up to like level 14 before we actually do anything else. So we gotta go to Slateport to do a thing. That's right, I think we have something we gotta drop off. Or some nonsense. I forget. It's a long line. Let me through. I might have to actually go beat Brawly, in which case we're in trouble. Alright, that's fine. That's okay. Let's take a look and see what else we can do around here before we have to end up going back and... Pokemon Fan Club? Hell yeah, I'm going here. Maybe we can talk to some people. Get some free TMs or something. Or a nugget. So yeah, they're talking about contests. This is a thing. I do rather like Pokemon contests, except not really. Yeah, you have to actually like raise their stuff in order to do stuff. I think there's some free nonsense you can get around here though. Like the original Pokemon Fan Club. I might be wrong about that, but at this point, you know, I'm thinking we might have to go back to Dewford, and I don't want to, ever. So we might have to go, like, train on some Plusles or Minons or whatever. Oh, this lady. Okay, so she'll ask you some questions, and you can give some completely pre-scripted responses about nonsense using random words that have no meaning whatsoever, really. Let's see. Slateport Harbor, we can't go here yet. I don't think. We could go here, I guess. Let's do this. Screw it. I think we can get our Pokeblock on. I think we can. I genuinely don't remember. This is a matter of learning. I want to make Pokeblocks. I want to make Pokeblocks. Let's do it. I don't have a case. Oh no. Where can I get a case? We'll probably end up completely skipping all this nonsense, but... You know, we do have a monster that completely just sweeps literally all of one type of contest. It's kind of amazing. Oh, there we go. We got a Pokeblock case. Okay. Okay, let's make some Pokeblocks. Yes, I know how to make Pokeblocks. It's been a long time, but I remember it being dumb. And this was one of the reasons why you could connect Pokemon Ruby to like 4 other Game Boys at the same time, just to do this sort of thing. Alright, so we throw our Pokeblocks in, or our berries, then we make little chewy candies for our Pokemon that give them contest stats. You just have to aim the little needle when it gets to your chunk of the whatever thing. It gets a little fast though. And the more good results you get, the faster this goes, obviously, but also the better resulting Pokeblock. So I didn't do the best. We got a brown, and it had a feeling of 20. What that means, I don't know. I think that's like how effective they are for what they're trying to be. I actually want to keep those. I guess we're now, since you can't get out of that screen, I guess we're throwing another Pokeblock in, or whatever. And you need these because they raise your arbitrary contest stats, which give you better chances of winning contests, kinda. Again, I'm not sure how much contesting we're actually going to do, mainly because I don't want to sit here and watch a blender for hours on end, because this is so bloody riveting. What's the thing you can do? We got a pink one, and its fuel was 22, so it was better, I guess. Okay, so we go to Verdant Turf to get the normal one, which is a ways away yet. If we can't continue down this path. But I think right now it's important that we fight some people. So I think we're probably just going to fight Electrics for a while. Well, it's important. So like I said, I think we're going to have to try and get our monsters up to like level 14 before we go back to Brawley. Because he's got like a level 18, and at like level 10 we did okay. So I figure at level 14, just across the board, we should be perfectly fine. It's just a matter of getting there, really. But who knows, maybe we'll run into a shiny monster or something insane. Or something we absolutely need to catch. I genuinely do not remember Team Magma ever blocking this path. But that's normally because I beat Brawley at this point. I don't normally get so many monsters this early on. Alright, we got some experience. And we're up to level 12. Awesome. Okay, now we could run back, but I think we'll probably just stick it out here and try and get some more experience with our other monsters before we have to go and heal up Garm to level him up some more. Oh look, it's a Zigzagoon, as much as we wish it wasn't. I genuinely don't remember the correlation between dark and normal. Because I know, like, and I say this and I'm probably wrong, but it feels like every game they completely change the relationship of dark with everything. The nice thing is, I have high defense. So I don't care what you do to me, Mr. Zigzagoon. I'm just going to continue to bite you. Although, if you got stunned, that would be great. Now, the unfortunate thing, once again, is that half our team is kind of weak to Brawley. Which tells me we should probably do something about that. At least down the road. Because I can kind of see already a couple of shared weaknesses between our teams as well, which is not exactly what we would consider ideal. Yeah, there's a crit. I'd like to do that against Brawley if we could, thank you. That paralysis will be a bit of a problem, but we'll make it work. Alright, Mia's level 14. That should at least put us kind of in a better spot against Brawley. Let's take drumsticks. The nice thing is, at most, with the exception of Garm, everyone just needs to level like twice. Garm needs 3. I don't care much for Electrike, though. It's funny, I really like Shinx and Luxray and Luxembourg, or whatever it evolves into. I like that electric dog. I don't care for this one, though. I think Electrike is just kind of dumb. It's annoying because there are some good electric monsters out there, but Electrike ain't one of them. Neither are Plusle and Minun, which we should be running into around here, but I think they're kind of rare. Or maybe they're only available in like little later chunks of grass, I'm not sure. I think this is also where we run into Gulpin. That's a monster I've never bothered using either. But I think that's like a poison type, and typically I don't use poison types. With the exception of like Nidoking. It's because, I mean, poison is such a niche area, I think. Alright, this should take us up to 14, I think. Alright. We are making progress. Let's take Aegis out. Now, this is... Aegis, I think, is also a rock type, so it might be okay, but if I recall, Steel's actually not good against electric, which will be a reoccurring theme in this game. Steel type just kind of sucks. Which sucks, because, like, one of my favorite monsters of all time is just a Steel type. Unless you consider that now it's a fairy type, because fairy's a thing now. don't know, I appreciate that they're adding new types and stuff just for the sake of it, trying to rebalance things, because, you know, again, going back to the early Pokemon games, there was Dragon, and there was like one monster in that entire element, and that element was basically only weak to itself. So congratulations, if you had a Dratini or any evolution of it, you had the best thing against a Dratini or any evolution of it. I will take Metal Claw. Goodbye, Tackle. You are a useless attack. Not as useless as Pied, but not much better. Alright. See if we can get Aegis up to 14. Hey, there we go. That's something new. In that it's not an Electric. I mean, it's an Oddish. It's a monster that's existed forever, but, you know, it's new. I love Oddish. Don't like any of its evolutions, really, but I like Oddish. With its goofy, leafy hair. Such a cute monster. I think Headbutt's probably still our best bet against this thing, so we'll do that. Paralysis. You've bested me this day. But we will not allow it to win the war. Or maybe we will. This could be a problem for us. Oh, come on, Aegis. You got this. Wow. Well played, Oddish. Well played. Really? That's how we're playing this, huh? Paralysis. Okay, fair enough. It's the curse of poison all over again, except now it's transferred to paralysis. Every time I get confused, I will take damage. I will just use, Yay. She's a bug. She'll do something. Bugs eat plants. I know that because I have a sunflower outside that's been completely eaten by ants. And it's really making me angry about that because I like sunflowers. Bug did not do quite as much as I'd hoped. Scratch it is. Nice crit. Now, the problem is, Ye's not going to actually be useful until like level 20. Which is less than ideal. But I think it's an interesting enough monster that it's worth taking a look at, even if we don't keep her around. Like, if I'm changing any monster in my team, I think she's the first to go. Honestly. Because bug type. Wow. That was not fair, Oddish. Okay. Fair enough. Oddish completely steamrolled my team. Awesome. Alright, fine. I could go to my flamethrower if I need to. I just don't think I need to. I might need to. This is gonna go bad, isn't it? Seriously, I've never seen Absorb be that effective. Okay, well, I'm getting angry, so we're just gonna do this. Go get him, drumsticks. I'm gonna get paralyzed. That's just how it's gonna be. Wait for it. Every turn. I'm just not gonna get anything done. How is this one Oddish completely just steamrolling my team? That is depressing. Alright, let's heal up, because we clearly have to level our team a little bit more. And we gotta go deal with Brawly and then come back here, I guess. Stupid Brawly with his stupid level 18s. That can one-shot my entire team for some reason. I mean, I get that, you know, 2 of them are weak to it, but still. Alright. Let's throw Garn back out on the front lines. He's the lowest, and we want to get him to 14 fast. And hopefully we won't run into another Oddish, because clearly they're here just to wreck our shit. Hey, Minun. Interesting monster, but also mostly useless. Its special ability powers up when it's on the same team as Plusle. Which means it's only good for 2-on-2 fights, which, I mean, there's like... I think you can count on one hand how many 2-on-2 fights there are in this game. And also, that's the one thing it has going for it. I think Minun's kind of cute. And if I had to admit to liking anything vaguely Pikachu-ish, Minun would probably be the extent of it. But I'm not sure I like it all that much. I think that Plusle and Minun are kind of like Caterpie and Weedle in this game, where both games contain both, but one is just significantly rarer than the other. You didn't use Quick Attack. You're dumb, Minun. Good experience, though. Alright, well, Garm kind of took a lot more damage than we'd hoped. Come on, fights. I need to get experience. Bunch of stupid gym leader in his smug face. Oh, a normal type. Well, I've got Metal Claw. I think we're okay. Yep. Metal Claw will do just fine. And down you go. And the problem is, I probably need a little bit more experience than the rest of my team, because I'm an uncommon monster. Still. Oh no, not again. I know how this goes down. New plan. Burn it to the ground. Because screw you, Oddish. And your Absorb that does way too much damage for its own good. Seriously, I've never seen Absorb do that much. It's kind of amazing. Oh, quit doing that. That means I have to attack you one more time after this, unless I get a crit. Which, with my luck, is not gonna happen. Oh. Well, that could help. And just kindly... Yeah, do that. That works for me. We're getting there. I mean, if we end up having to go to like level 15 with drumsticks, that might be our way in. I didn't know you could run the Wingles here. Huh. Wingle would be pretty useful against Brawly, but I don't want a Wingle. Stop dropping my attack. It's not very nice. It's also not effective. What is Steel actually effective to in this game? You know, it's funny because the first time I ever played Gen 2 Pokemon, I got completely steamrolled by the Steel gym. And I kind of immediately thought Steel was like the greatest thing ever. And this game, when you finally actually get Steel, because Steel's not like absurdly hard to get in this game, it is like the worst type ever. Okay, I get that I'm weak to water because I'm a rock type. Seriously. Confusion. Okay. I don't know what we're gonna do. Throw a bug out there and see what happens. Probably nothing good, because I'm pretty sure it's weak to everything Wingull stands for, but still. We need the experience. Experience that will let us crush Brawly. Preferably soon. Ah, I hate confusion. It is the most obnoxious thing. Because it's like a status element, except it's not a status ailment. And you can put an actual status ailment on top of that. Have you ever been confused and then paralyzed? I have numerous times. It's like the most annoying thing ever. Because not only do you take damage, but you're probably not going to actually attack when you don't take damage. Oh, we're going to get completely crushed by a Wingull as well. I don't know if I can help it, though. Let's see what we can do. Hypercutter. Joke's on you. Also Bite. Because Bite is awesome. Unfortunately, we now have to, like, split our experience 3 ways, which is not good for anyone. Wow, that just completely curb stomped our team. I almost want to just go to Brawly and try and fight him right now. But I feel like that would just go badly for everyone involved. Yeah, screw it. Let's try it. I've been here for 20 minutes and I haven't done much. I want to actually do something of value today. To Brawly. Hold on. Oh. We might have just had to go here. I might have been wrong. And dumb. Both entirely possible. I think we have to talk to Stern about something. It's empty. I don't get a Great Ball. Lame. I miss when you could look into garbage cans and find stuff. That was awesome. I think Stern's somewhere. He's probably in the museum and I can't go bug him until I get the second gym badge. Yeah, he's not here. Okay, fine. We'll go get the second gym badge. Fine. You win, game. I love you, but you win. And I hate you. The nice thing is we do have that, like, giant box of soda pop they gave us. I need to go back to there before I can deliver Devin's goods, as far as I can tell, because I can't go into the museum. And I can't go past Slateport because arbitrary roadblocks. All of this stuff you have to, like, surf to go through again, and there's no point. Okay, well, how's our team looking? Okay. I think we're going to start with the same Brock strat of just try and lower their defense, or lower their accuracy, then just max out evasion, and see what we can do with that. Because that is the best plan I have. The nice thing is we should, at the very least, have enough health to survive some stuff. The problem is, he's got potions, which means even when we actually get a shot at taking this guy out, we're probably not going to actually get a shot at taking this guy out. I hate this guy and his two stupid monsters. They should not be this difficult. Okay. Yeah, that went about as well as I kind of hoped. Alright, new plan. Go get him, drumsticks. I have stabs. What do you got? Bulk up, that's a scary move. But conversely, means that you can't attack this turn. Means you can attack that turn, though. And you're going to take about as much damage. Quit it. Like, see, that's the problem. If this guy didn't have speed, he wouldn't be too bad, but he's just a weird fight this early on. Okay, screw it. I can't waffle on strategies. I'm gonna get destroyed. Yep. This is why I don't like this. And I mean, our alternative is to go back into the cave and fight like rock types, which will just take forever. Okay, well, I can do this. This is the plan now. It's basically Pokemon Yellow, starting with Charmander, and Pokemon Red, Brock strategy. Just try and hope they don't hit you. And the nice thing is, they've got Bulk Up, which means that at least actively takes away one of their abilities that can actually do damage to you. Problem is, if they do anything after that, then you're in trouble. And we don't have any revives, so we can't really rely on that. Alright, well, there goes that. Well, I got a crit. I'm gonna take a crit from anyone at any point, that would be when. Alright. Time to try this, I guess. No, don't do that. Holy crap, quit it. It's mean when you do that, Machop. Ah yes, I have the Berry of Healing a little bit because I had some forethought, although not much. And I don't have any more of those, which is a problem. Okay, well, we're gonna use a potion and hope we don't get murdered. Alright, he missed. We might actually have a shot now. I don't think we have a shot now. Crit! And this is why we had to try and grind outside of Slateport, because it's like the only place we can go right now. And we don't even have access to all of outside Slateport. It's kind of amazing. Yeah. And that's the thing, you could try and go all out offensive before he bulks up. That's certainly an option for you, but it just seems a little not good to do that. And I don't think we have any other TMs, really, that would be useful against this guy. Alright, well, we tried that, and failed horribly. So, back to doing this, I guess. Sure you guys just don't want to, let me by? You're keeping a secret by blocking off the road and, like, preventing me from going anywhere. Great way of keeping a secret. Hey, it's Gulpin! Nice. And of course, he's got poison, which means this is all going to be a large thing I don't want to deal with. It's good the game's being consistent with all the other games. I just don't want to deal with poison. Oh, I guess I'm dealing with poison. Terrific. I mean, on the other hand, this wouldn't be bad to use in conjunction with, like, the ability to not get hit. Like, if we used something like Gulpin's poison gas mixed with, you know, a bunch of double teams so that we don't actually get destroyed, that wouldn't be a bad or invalid strategy, especially considering that Brawly does not, in fact, have full restores. He has super potions. But at the same time, it seems like just as flimsy a strategy as everything else we've got right now. But genuinely, this should not be as hard as it is. That said, I do have Metal Claw now. I can do that. And your poison gas won't do anything to me. I'm just gonna keep doing that. Go team! Still, more experience would be good. That said, I mean, we went for almost all 14 to do that. And we didn't really make much of a dent in them. Which is a problem. Which means we should probably reconsider our strategy, but I don't really think we've got a better one at this point. It just seems weird that they lock off this route so close to the actual border as opposed to, say, you know, down the road next to the next town. Hey, it's Minin. We're gonna get paralyzed again. Stupid Minin. But it's better experience than having to go to that stupid cave and fight things with high experience or high defense. Plus, I think we get some stuff that actually starts evolving around level like 15 or so. So if we start actually like leveling stuff around now, we should at the very least maybe get some points boosts in our overall stats that'll help against stupid Brawly because he's stupid. I genuinely have never had this much trouble against him. It's kind of amazing. I don't think I've ever had like a full team of 6 when I go and fight him though, so you know, maybe I've got more levels at that point. I don't know. What's really fascinating, though, is at this point we have access to... Well, at this point we should have access anyway to 2 HMs. We have access to one because we haven't beaten Brawly, but... We have long more or less outgrown the use of Cut, and we never at any point used it. Like, it's just weird how devalued it is at this point. It's just kind of strange, especially considering later on you use so many HMs. Like, there's so many HMs in this game. That's why you get, like, a Tropius, which can learn, like, pretty much all the non-water HMs at once. You need, like, 2 of them and, like, a Sharpedo just to take care of everything. And that's, like, half your team just dedicated to HMs. And that's part of the reason why I dislike HMs so much. It makes your team basically worthless, and they just kept adding so many. Which is also why I value the ones that don't have HMs. Because HMs are terrible. I mean, at least the first generation, maybe the second, to a point they had actual value. Like, Surf and Fly, for at least the first 2 games, were actual valid attacks. I think Fly might still be kind of okay in this game, but after that, it's just... all the HMs are just so useless. Outside of their actual, like, intended environmental function. And you can't get rid of them once you have them. And then you have to use, like, a spot in your team's lineup to actually have an HM as opposed to an actual proper attack. It's dumb. There's nothing about HMs that actually worked all that well. Don't get me wrong, I like the idea of your monsters learning stuff that can be used environmentally, but why that has to take up, like, an attack slot? I don't know. Or, like, maybe what they could have done, and I'm just spitballing here, but maybe they could have had, like, locked additional attack slots, like, have, like, the base 4, and then have, like, a 5 or a 6 donate to what they could have had for, like, HMs, and then once you learn those HMs, they just automatically unlock, or something like that. It's not a great idea, but it's an idea that works better than at least forcing you to use them and taking up actual attack slots that could have been useful. I forgot you had Pound. I just thought you had poison attacks that do nothing to me. I wish Brawly was like that. He just has attacks that don't do anything. I could just wail on him till the cows come home. It would be awesome. Hey, Bites! That's a new move. It's not an overly useful one in our current situation, but it's a new one. Alright, let's throw Aegis in. And hopefully we don't run into the, like, 3 electric types that are here. And for once, luck actually pays out. Nice. Maybe we'll actually get a level out of this. That'd be kind of nice. Oh, that's not good. I mean, he won't be able to do much while we're asleep, but I don't want to be asleep. And after this turn, I'm asleep, so please take him out. Yeah! Well done, Aegis. I mean, you don't have the good ability that you could have had, but still, you are at least being useful. And now we're going to use Betty Bug Lady because Betty Bug Lady. Of course, we run into the bird. Okay, fine. What the hell, we'll use our Psychic type. We need to gain levels to take out Brawly anyway. More experience for the one person who can fight him well. I mean, I'm half tempted to just go in with Confusion before they have a chance to bulk up, but given the odds, we'll probably just get destroyed, like, in a turn like everything else. I don't really like the idea of just spamming evasion and, like, sand attack because it doesn't seem to be all that effective and it seems largely based on luck, but it's really our most effective strategy at this point. There's a little bit more experience for people. Okay, how much more do you need? 500. Okay, so like 10 more of those. Great. Oh, please don't be another bird. Okay, now we've got the little bush that will murder me. But the nice thing is, I actually have something that can take care of him pretty quick. I don't even care anymore. Now I want to get this stupid grind session done. I don't care if they end up unbalanced at this point. Just let me finish fights quickly, please. It's now very apparent that I'm wildly impatient about stuff. No rare candies yet, either. I don't know where the earliest rare candy in this game is. It's been too long. Alright, well that's some experience. Some actual decent experience. That was almost twice what we got from the other fight. Even split. Okay, I'll play another Oddish, sure. Now, a decent chunk of my strategy last time was also to take advantage of the Oran berries. We have no more of those, and we have no way of collecting more of those at this point. That's not ideal. But we'll try not to rely on that, I guess, because we don't have that as an option anymore. The nice thing is, again, we're getting close to at least evolving some of our monsters, so on the bright side. Although I don't think Aegis evolves to his second form until like level 30-something, and then doesn't hit his final form until like late 40s. Something kind of absurd like that. Which almost makes me kind of think of like Dratini. And this game actually has a couple of Dratini-ish type monsters. Not just monsters that evolve really late, but like dragon types that show up really late and are rare. I think there's like 3 of them in this game. Hey, drumsticks leveled. Please tell me you get another attack. No? Okay. Oh, this is just bad. Oh well. On the bright side, if we run into Gulpin, we've got some ways to take him out. Not so many ways to take out Electrike, though. We could try Aegis and see if his rock type does something. But, I mean, if he tries to paralyze us, it's going to be moved either way. Like that. Please do a lot of damage, just to make me feel better. Nope. Again, Steel type, not very good. Which makes me sad because it's awesome. It's super effective, it just has a low damage output. He stares me down, and my defense falls because I don't like being looked at. I think that would raise my defense, but okay. Seriously, how many more fights until my little bug levels up a little bit more? It's not even going to evolve to level 20. I know that for a fact. Alright, I don't want to fight you like this, so we're going to throw Aegis out there and keep mud slapping. Because if you have a ground type attack, even if it doesn't do very much, it's still a ground type attack. And when using that against electric types, if nothing else, it's satisfying. Like that. It doesn't do a lot of damage, but it makes me feel better. That's important, I think. Stupid Minin with your stupid helping hand. And your stupid useless ability. That's only good in 2-on-2 battles. And even then, that's debatable. You know, you're cute. That's what you get. You get nothing else. Yeah, they're just gimmick monsters at this point. It's like, well, we have this new mechanic of 2-on-2 fights. We have to do something about it. Even though there's only like 6 in the game, we have to actively, you know, try to make a monster that's centered around it, because people are definitely going to play that using their Game Link cables, because that was a thing. I'm going to be paralyzed. Nope. I'm actually surprised how little paralysis I've been affected with, despite being paralyzed. Okay. Our team is nowhere near ready to fight Brawly. But I'm just annoyed that I can't make progress until I do. Because as far as I can tell, I can't get these Devon goods to whoever needs them over here, because Team What's-Their-Faces is in the way. I don't think he's at the port. And that would immediately remove every place we've been thus far, and we'll be able to go moving forward. We could take a look at the port, but I'm pretty sure he's not there. Yeah, I'm not seeing anyone particularly important looking around here. Yeah. So, hooray! Back to more grinding. Unless... no. I had a thought, which proved to be false. Oh well. On the bright side, I mean, once we actually get past Brawly, we'll be pretty well set up for a while. So we'll have been leveled, and like I said, the game doesn't seem to actually want you to have a full team at this point. So, you know, we'll be good for a while, I guess. Oh good, flinching. Okay, fine. I'll just throw Aegis back out. Because I don't think your damage is going to do as much as you'd like to think against my giant wall of defense. And the 1 damage you did. So feel free to just eat a Metal Claw for me. That would just be super. I think one of the most frustrating things about fighting Brawly so far is just the fact that he's got speed on us. Like, if he didn't have speed, I think we could probably take him no problem. Like, he's got levels, but it's the fact that he has speed on us, plus he can just buff himself up and take us all out in one turn that kind of kills it. If we at least had speed on him, that would at least kind of give us a chance to do something. But, man, this is annoying. Alright. That's not going to be very useful. Okay. That's what we're going to do. We'll throw a Psychic type out there. With Psychic, Bendy Spoon's powers go! I knew that would happen. Unfortunately, we have Trace and not Ralts' other ability, because if we had Ralts' other ability, he would suddenly be paralyzed. But thanks to our Trace, he's now suddenly paralyzed. So go team! Oh, the paralysis. It's just gonna be an endless loop of nothing able to do anything because paralysis. That's how to keep things interesting, alright. Come on. Let's do it again. There you go. There we finally. That's the problem with our little bug lady, is she has no health, no defense, basically no attack. It's the problem with all bugs. And she's the most interesting of all the bug types, too. Which is possibly, like, the most damning thing. We gotta be getting close, though. We've been doing this for almost an hour. I just want to go run up to Brawly and try again. I know he's just gonna one-shot us. The only thing I can maybe think that would work, strategy-wise, maybe, would basically do the exact same thing we've already been doing, but instead of starting with Garm, who gets one-shotted anyway, start with Aegis, who might be able to survive a hit, and do Mud Slap, which will at least do some damage as well as lower accuracy. That's That's the only way I can modify the strategy that really might do something. Mining seems to be a nice little pool for experience, though. If I didn't have to split it across monsters, but at the same time I don't want to completely leave monsters in the dust either. Stupid zigzagoon. If we get Aegis to 15, that might be a big enough difference for us. But like I said, that kind of is reliant on the fact that we could use Mud Slap to give us at least some kind of sense of damage output as well as lowering accuracy. Growl. I fear not your growl. It's just gonna make things take longer. It's kind of surprising how much experience Ninkata actually needs, though. Because, I mean, that was one of the draws to bugs, is that they take basically 0 experience to level, and they evolve very quickly. And, I mean, the downside is they're never really all that good, but, you know, at the very least, you can at least get better early on and quick. You can't do that with Ninkata. It takes until level 20 to evolve. Okay, new plan. We're gonna do that. We're just gonna swap Aegis in, take all the experience, try and level quick, see if we can take out Brawley that way. Because at this point I am getting frustrated. Because frustration is mounting highly. I know that we've got a couple of monsters that will evolve around level 16. I think Ralts will, I think our Torchic will. I'm inclined to say our Poochyena will as well, but I'm not sure. By this point, we've got so few options to actually bother trying to level. And the sad thing is, this is like the best experience we can get right now. The next best is back in that cave where we fight rock types, which at this point only Aegis's Metal Claw would be any good against. And it would just be a huge amount of time just to do that because of their defense. Alright, Electrike. They should at least allow us to level. And then I think the Mud Slap strategy will probably be our best bet. The problem is, assuming that that works to the best of its ability, which is basically, you know, Mud Slap it to the point where it can't raise its accuracy and it doesn't hit us. At some point we have to swap to a different attack and we'll have basically nothing to use against Machop. We could use Harden, which would be advantageous for survivability, I suppose, but... Alright, there's level 15. Okay, let's try it. Mainly because I'm impatient and I want to move on. I can't believe we've spent an hour grinding at a single tiny patch of dirt. So embarrassing. This is almost as bad as when I first started this and wanted to, like, get my Nidoran. We spent an hour doing that. But that at least, you know, had purpose towards moving forward. This is just grinding. Because we're having trouble with the second gym leader, which is all kinds of depressing. Alright. Briny. We're going back to Dewford. I don't want to, but we are. Because the gym leader there is an asshole, and I don't want to... As far as I can tell, he's an invisible flag that's preventing us from progressing, but assuming that he's not, I don't want to let him live anyway. He needs to be knocked down about a few dozen pegs. So this is our plan. If this fails, we'll go back to grinding, I guess. Alright, let's go. Okay, Brawly. The problem is, if he gets initiative on us, which he probably will, and he takes us out instantly, this entire plan is just done out of the gate. Like that. Crit. Yeah, okay, fine. Go team. Guess we're going back to old plan. The one where I say, please don't kill me. And you proceed to kill me. Seriously, how is this guy so high leveled? I would think he'd be like 14, 15, not, you know, almost 20. This is kind of insane. Fortunately, I've got enough monsters I can lower your accuracy, but, you know, isn't exactly the most fun way to fight anything. Nice thing is, I think we do get bulk up when we beat this guy, which could be a very useful ability. I feel like you get Focus Punch from this guy, not bulk up, but I can't remember. But if you don't get Focus Punch, where do you get Focus Punch from? Because I remember using Focus Punch a lot. Oh, that could be bad for us. You know, considering he bulked up a couple times, that's actually not bad. That'll probably be the end of it, though. Alright. You've got 3 levels on me, you should not be completely dominating. Like, having an edge, that's one thing, but completely dominating like you are, that comes across as not right. But hopefully, I can avoid all your attacks. And if we can, we might actually win this. I'm not mildly hopeful that's going to be the case, but, you know, we can always hope. And not get completely wiped in one attack. That would also be nice. I do appreciate every time it says it missed. And the thing is, I could sit here and try and just raise Lilith's level, maybe. Oh, that might be it. That might be what we're going to do next. I'm surprised I survived that. Problem is another one of those and we won't. I think Karate Chop does a little bit more. Not going to use Soda Pop just yet because it does more. Yeah, like that. Well, it's our last potion. If this doesn't work, we'll go back and try to level a little more, I guess. Okay. And that should be that. Okay, new plan. We're just gonna level our Psychic type because screw balancing our team. I just want to wipe the floor with this jerk. You know the annoying thing? At some point, I'm going to be a flying type. And when that happens, I could wipe the floor with you. Well, that sucked. I mean, bright side, Burn's probably going to take him out. Yay for experience! All for one monster who will be of absolutely no use in this fight. Unless... if I can make it flinch a bunch of times. I mean, if I can make it flinch every turn. Problem is if it bulks up, it's going to take progressively less and less damage. And that arm thrust is really just a devastating move. I'm gonna attack you 5 times in one turn. Awesome. I will point out that this fight is once again proving how the psychic fighting dynamic should work the other way. Because you're clearly taking out my psychic type rather quickly. Because I don't have defense. Why would I be good against something that does nothing but physical attacks? Okay. Screw it. We're just going to go crazy with confusion. Maybe we'll get psychic. That'd be nice. It's the best psychic move. Wow, you do a lot for just quick attack. It's kind of impressive. You know, I forget that confusion actually causes confusion because it happens so rarely. I mean, a lot of, like, and I guess maybe it's because confusion isn't an actual status ailment, but all the other attacks that happen to cause status ailments tend to be like either 1 in 5 or 1 in 10. Confusion seems significantly lower. Like maybe a 1 in 20 sort of thing. And you know, every single one of those times we fought Brawly, if we'd inflicted confusion on anything there, we probably would have won any of those fights. I'm gonna level up and just completely wreck him. That's the plan. I don't care if you're a Wingull. I'm going to crush your mind, and it's going to be fantastic. Now that's another neat thing about Trace. It's not the most overly effective ability, but it lets you see other monsters' abilities, which can kind of inform you about what they do. And that in and of itself can be valuable. And it can make you think about how to actually like set up your team and like prepare for stuff. Give you different ideas for strategy and stuff. Give me more experience. I just wanted to completely destroy that smug fighting type using jerk. But that's the thing, like, I know that even if I matched it in level, I would probably still take a couple of turns to try and take it out. It would still probably end up being faster than me. Oh, good, a Minun. More experience! I'm starting to really like Minans, mainly because they're worth a lot of experience. And not for really any other reason. The problem is, they seem to do a little bit more damage than everything else around them. Or at the very least, they don't die quite as fast. And that's less than ideal for us. Please hurt itself. Please hurt itself. Please hurt itself. Yeah! And that should be the fight. Alright. 2 more Minans and we should level. You know, I feel really dumb. Because I remember, you know, so smugly saying that our Ralts would probably just steamroll his entire team. I forgot that he's level like 18. I genuinely thought he was like 13, 14. Because you fight him so quickly after the last one, which was basically 13, 14. And now we've dedicated like 2 hours to fighting him, and still haven't successfully actually managed to beat him. It's all kinds of embarrassing. Chlorophyll. That's not a useful ability for me. But as long as you don't, like, paralyze powder me, we're okay, Oddish. Alright. It's another one. Just a couple hundred more. We'll get to 16. And that should give us our evolution. If I remember correctly. It better. That should at least give us a little bit more stats to play with. That might allow us to actually beat those stupid fighting types. They'll still have a couple levels on us, but... that is one problem with our team currently, is we don't really have anything to debuff the enemy or buff us. Outside of, you know, lowering accuracy. But we don't have any, like, status ailment causers in our team yet, which is not ideal. Still, this should at least be the level. Spinny chickens. Yeah, the only thing I can think in terms of balance is the game doesn't expect you to have like a full team outside of like the first gym. Because going back to that first gym, the Roxanne, she had quite a few levels on us as well. And I think it's just the fact that we're spreading our team experience so thin is what's really causing problems for us, I think. Oh good, teleport. That's the move we want. Oh, didn't evolve. I'm waiting for the evolution before we go. It'll be like level 20. I don't care anymore. I'll sit here and I will grind to that evolution, and then I'll punch Brawly in his smug face. Because now I'm just getting angry. Which is why I'm immediately running out of stuff to talk about, because, like, you know, I'm just getting annoyed. I think this is definitely a sign that our team at present doesn't really work. But I think that's because we haven't really gotten a chance to properly level them, comparatively to our opponents. And also we don't have like a decent moveset on anything yet because they're still very early leveled. Again, to sort of draw parallels, it's almost like the Brock fight a little bit. I'm gonna look since I have the power of the internet. Let's take a look and see what level it evolves at. Oh jeez. Level 20. Yeah, we're not waiting for evolutions. Screw that. Alright, we'll try now. And if this doesn't work, I will freaking power level these things to 20 off screen. I don't care anymore. I'm just annoyed and tired and frustrated. Okay. Now we have a couple of options. We could okay, that's something I just realized too. Why does teleport not work like fly? Why does it like take you to the last Pokemon Center you saved at as opposed to anyone that you visited? That seems strange to me. But I'll give it 2 different attempts against this guy. I'll try it with Classic Strat, and then the other is we'll just Hail Mary full offense it and see what happens. Because, I mean, we're at least level 16. He shouldn't completely destroy us out of the box. Out of the gate. As you can see, I'm very tired and just getting angry. So, yeah, I guess we'll start by trying to just offense it. Basically just from the start spam confusion, see what happens. Because if he bulks up at any point, that will give us our opportunity to win. Because that's basically a free turn to attack, and I figure we'll probably do like at least half his health, I would think. Because even though he's got levels, we have typing. I'm genuinely surprised it's level 20 this thing evolves at. I thought it was 16, 17. Like 18 maybe in a pinch. It's... I feel like it's going back once again to Magikarp versus Gyarados. Like every level I think it's gonna evolve. Nope. Oh, your defense rises. That's cute. I'm dealing special defense damage, idiot. Makuhita. As long as it doesn't get like an arm thrust in on me, we've got this fight, I think. And yes, I could have done this at any point, but the fact is, at any point they could have actually hit us. And again, they had speed on us. Now at least they don't do that. Okay, now in a very roundabout way, I want to point out that as smug and as sheepish as I am about it, I did say that my Ralts would completely steamroll his team. I guess I overthink things sometimes. That's my problem, and it's not Brawly just being a jerk. Okay, it is Brawly being a jerk, but, you know. We got the Knuckle Badge. Guess what? We can use Flash. Awesome. I don't need it. Technical Machine 8. Bulk up. That's a good move. Do we actually have anything that can learn Bulk up? I don't think we'll use it right now, but no, we don't. Awesome. I think Drumsticks eventually can learn Bulk Up because it does kind of become a fighting type. And if Aegis could learn it, oh, that could do some mean things. But I guess I just overthink things sometimes. You know, had I just done that... No, had I just done that, we still probably would have lost over and over and over. Alright, let's check the houses here. Do a quick victory lap. Someone might give us something free. Give me something free. I think the idea of living on a small island would be kind of cool. I know one of these persons is like Mr. Trendy. And they like do dumb things. Alright, I think we've done everything. We're going to Slateport because we've done everything here. We better have. Because I don't want to ever go back to Dewford. Or Slateport again, but I know I'm going to have to because it's kind of a hub town of sorts. Now I gotta go find Captain Stern. But first, let's rearrange our monsters so we can at least get a little bit more levels out of it. I'm surprised Ross evolves at level 20. I was sure it was either 16 or 17. I want to go in. Okay, we gotta find Captain Briny or whatever, who should be somewhere. Captain Stern. Captain Briny. Do you know where the captain is? I suppose I probably could have just... Alright. If he's not at the ship building place, I know there's an actual proper word for that, then I'm just frustrated with life at this point. The sea is like a living thing. Well, it's filled with living things, so yeah, kinda. I get seasick. Apparently back massages help, I've heard. People give away HMs for that. I feel like I should just play with those things, just to ruin someone's day. Maybe I just had to talk to him. Whoops. I'm having a bad day. Can you tell? Oh, look, we can go here now. I'm gonna point out I now have to pay to progress the plot. Not much, mind you, but still. On a fundamental level, I don't like that. There. Now we gotta fight these guys. Awesome. I'll fight you. I'll point out there were 2 of them. We could have turned this into a double battle. It's not gonna happen. Doomel. That's a monster I've never bothered using either. I just don't think it's all that interesting. It's their signature monster, though. Alright, there. And I'm starting to cool down. I'm less pissed off now. I'll point out, that could have been a 2-on-2 fight. It's not, but it could have been. Oh, a Zabbit. That's cute. Oh, Garm's in trouble. Yeah, screw it, we'll throw Mia out there. See what she can do. One damage. Well done. I can use Bite. Probably not do too much to you. But still, in a fight versus you and me, I've got more defense. So as long as Confusion doesn't really do much, I'm okay. And of course I take damage from Confusion. That's just life. And now you're leech-lifing me, of course. Don't take damage from Confusion, please. There's only so much of that I can take. And I'm already at my limit for frustration right now. Alright, there we go. That was way more difficult and time consuming than it had any right to be. And we can't really fight Nummel with this thing. Aegis might be able to because he's part rock, though. We'll try Aegis. See what he can do. Nothing else, we got Mud Slap. That'll do something. Huh. Alright. I can survive that, provided I don't get burned. Or critted. You know, like how both things just happened. Miss. Alright, I'll take a growl, sure. You missed, you silly Nummel. Unless we get a crit on this, I don't think we're beating him. Because we don't get cured from burn. That's unfortunate. You know, the thing is, if it used nothing but Ember, we could have probably won that fight. Alright, well... let's see if Garm gets initiative. If he does, we should be able to take him out. Free experience. I'll take it. There we go. You know, if you two fought me at once, it would have saved us all a lot of time. There's this guy. He's important. I feel compelled because why not? I'm on vacation. I do what I want. Also, the background music is the SSN theme, which I think is kind of nice. It's a nice little touch. You wanna reward me for doing a thing for you? No? Okay. Fine, whatever. They left. I'll take GM46. I don't know what it is, but I'll take it. I think it's Thief, actually. Is that what it is? Yeah. Thief can be useful. We have 2 monsters capable of learning it. It's not really a super powerful attack or anything, but you might remember that rich kid who you get a lot of money from if you beat him. Yeah, you can refight him a bunch of times, and every time his Zigzagoon and its evolution will be carrying a nugget, which you can steal, and that's another 5,000 Pokemon fun bucks. So it's a way to get rich quick, basically. Alright, there. Now, we should be able to move on. Oh, thank God. Now we gotta fight this lady. She's gonna have a team of Pikachus. Oh no, she's got +1 mining. That I don't really want to deal with EA. Let's use Aegis with his ground damage. That seems sensible. I don't like you growling at me. That is less than ideal. Slap. Now what is neat is pretty soon we're going to get to a really interesting place. In fact, it's like right after this fight. I'm not sure how effective or how often we'll be here to like witness how interesting it is, but it's an interesting place nonetheless. I'm paralyzed. I don't want to be, but I am apparently. Stop lowering my attack. It's frustrating. Oh, if you have a healing berry. Okay, Metal Claw it is. Maybe I'll get something out of Stab. I just do not care for these stall fights. I'm impatient. Oh, Stab did nothing. Headbutt. It's a rather effective attack. Headbutt again. Just don't lower my attack again, please. Oh, the paralysis makes everything take longer. Alright, there we go. Now we just have to do that again. Okay, so now we gotta go fight Minun. How are you supposed to pronounce that? It will be largely the same fight, I feel. And honestly, it might just be faster to quick attack, or headbutt him before he starts lowering my attack again, because even with lowered attack, headbutt did a lot. I gotta admit, I was curious about Aron, so I looked him up. And he gets 2 abilities, and his other one is just so much better. Like the one we've got, we're immune to instant kill attacks. Okay, but those are so bloody rare and they never work when you use them. The other one is you don't take damage from attacks that do recoil damage to you. And of course his evolution line actually learns like the most powerful normal attack that actually has a crazy amount of recoil damage. It's like, oh, that might have been nice to have. I guess not. Isn't that just life, though? Right there. Okay, we're paralyzed. I'm gonna run back and heal just because Why is there so much paralysis in this one area? Seriously, it's gonna impede any progress. But then we'll go take a look at the interesting place. Because something interesting has to happen. Alright, leave. Alright. Route 110. This place. It's interesting. Hey, a sparkly thing. Because you're the sparkly thing. Yeah, this guy's like the trap master. Or trick master, whatever. Basically, every time you finish a gym, he has like a new iteration of his place, and if you finish his rather simple dungeons, we don't have cut. Crap. I don't want to deal with cut, but we will, I guess. Let's go get our monster that can learn cut. But if you finish his simple dungeons, he gives you some decent prizes. So it's kind of worth it to do it, especially considering some of the stuff he gives you is actually like exclusive stuff that you can't otherwise get. Now this is something worth noting. This is like the first iteration of being able to just move monsters in general. Because before this you had to withdraw and deposit monsters. Not having to deal with that anymore is kind of nice. The fact that they still have a withdraw and deposit option as opposed to, say, just defaulting to move, it seems a little bit weird, but, you know, it's a step in the right direction. It makes things a little bit easier. So having the alternatives is a little confusing because there's no point, but still, it makes things a little bit easier. I will cut this down. Go get him, Splashy. Plus free stuff. I mean, who can say no to free stuff? I certainly can. Free stuff is awesome. And more experience because we get to fight people. I don't know. He's a guy I talked to. He said he has stuff if I finish his dungeon. So I figured I'd come try and finish his dungeon. Skitty. Oh, Sing. You're gonna make my life just miserable, aren't you? Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see where this is going. Fine. I shall fall asleep. And I will fix this problem. I think I'll swap to Aegis. His Metal Claw should do something. Provided you don't sing again. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, that'll sometimes just take away your control from actual fighting. Which, yes, stalls fights and makes them frustrating. Please smash it. Thank you. That could have gone a lot longer than it did. You use Meryl. I will go back to Betty Bug Lady. And then I will immediately swap out of Betty Bug Lady because she will get destroyed by Water type. And we'll throw out our Steel type. Well done. You've managed to increase your defense. I should be able to make you flinch so that you don't do that again, though. Ideally, anyway. I think it's safe to say we don't live in an ideal world where that's going to happen, but, you know, I might get at least 1 or 2 flinch. And a crit. I'll take a crit. And there's a level. Shroomish. And that's where drumsticks will come in. Because fire type. Burn it all to the ground. I don't care if you have to destroy this building while you do it. I'm just at that point already. Oh good. More paralysis to stall fights. You are just determined to make this take as long as possible, aren't you, there, Shroomish? There. That's another monster down. Really? They didn't level up from that. Unfortunate. I very much want whatever's in that Pokeball. I think I've earned it. I'm just gonna cut all these things. Up to this point, we didn't even need cut. Cut was worthless. Okay, there's a scroll. We need to talk to them. Of course, we gotta talk to this guy. Okay, I get that you'd wander into this place, sure, but how did you find the Trickmaster and then decide to jump down his hidden wall hole to come here? How do you do that by accident? There has to be intent there, I think. Alright, Garm. Defense fell, huh? I'm just gonna bite you, thank you. Oh, dropping accuracy. You can tell they're scared of us. As they should be. Alright, there's that fight. Oh, Fury Swipes, that would have been useful. Yes, I would like to get rid of that. Goodbye, Scratch. Hello, better version of Scratch. Yeah, we'll throw Yay out there. She needs more experience. She might actually be able to take this guy on her own. If she weren't asleep. Can't I just, you know, give her a cup of coffee or something? Alright, well. Let's throw Garm out there. Get some more experience for him. That's a scary move. And you've got initiative, so I can't exactly make you flinch. That's less than ideal. We'll see what we can do with it. Yeah, crit will do nicely. That's initiative right there. Good job. Alright, found a scroll. And you need that to beat the dungeon. But we still have that thing to go get, so... Looks like we got another fight ahead of us, at least. That's okay. More experience. Oh, but cut is useless, lady. Don't you know? This whole thing was a trap to make you think it's useful. It's not. Oddish, you say? Interesting. Yeah. Paralyzed or not, I'm just gonna burn it down. Go get him drumsticks. Because I have Ember. I fear not your Oddish. Burn. There we go. Okay. Kicked your ass. Let's get our prize. Now, the thing is, because we've already covered 2 gyms, we should be able to come back in here and do it again for the second gym. And I'm not sure what we get from that, but, you know, we get something. Plus experience. Orange mail. That is useless. You can write a letter on it and trade a monster holding it to a friend. That does nothing for me. That could have been something far more useful, like a hold item, or a rare candy, or a rare candy, or like 12 rare candies. And Brawly's stupid head on a platter. Alright, yes, I'd like to cut it. Yeah, every single one of these passwords is very complimentary to Trickmaster. Oh, there's a rare candy, finally. So, fun fact, he'll probably be using something that requires flash in the next fight. The next, whatever you want to call this, dungeon earring experience. We can try again. You ready? I guess not. I will begrudge you a great deal of things, Trickmaster. Alright, let's go swap our team out. I mean, on the bright side, I did say I wanted to get everything up to level 14, and we've done that. Small victories. Small, frustrating, taking way too long, but still victories nonetheless. I'm just gonna access someone's PC. You know how it is. Yes, I would like to rest my monsters. And now that I have Ralts back, I can teleport. Now, what's our team look like? 3 15s, a 16, 2 14s. Alright, that's not bad. Maybe not great, but not bad. No, I'd like to... Please let me leave. I don't want to go back in there. It's a madhouse in there. Hold on. I think I saw something. Nope. I thought there might be a secret thing there, but there's not. Alright, this actually leads us back to I don't want to use cut on those. I don't care what's back there. I'm not bothering. This actually leads us back to, like, the second route we were ever on, where we fought and lost to May. Embarrassingly enough. You're a grass type, so we'll throw drumsticks out there. You do have levels on me, Roselia, but I have typing. So I shall burn you to the ground. Preferably before I get poisoned. Yep, crit'll do that. Good job. So close to leveling. Aroma Lady? That seems like a weird title. Okay, well... No, I think those two have to headline in this fight, because this will be a dual fight. It's interesting you have to, like, actively go out and initiate these double fights, as opposed to them just being fights. They're ones you have to, like, pursue. Kind of weird. Oh good, it's this team of stupid and stupid. Well, let's see what we can do. We've got quick attack. Hit 2 times. Uh-oh. Now again, because these are literally designed for double battles, if you take one out, the other is basically completely hobbled. Congratulations! You helping hand a helping hand. That does literally nothing. Wow, I am not getting anything out of Fury Swipes today. I remember when Fury Swipes was actually kind of good. Not now, evidently. Alright, there we go. Now let's see what you do when you have no one to support. Minin. You purely support monster, you. I'm betting you're not going to be able to do much. And I'm quite confident in that bet. Mostly because I've completely decimated you now that you don't have anyone to support. You're done. Hey, Garm leveled. Nice. Yes, you both lost. You should feel bad about that. I'm inclined to think he's got a Wingull, but I'm not sure. Skitty. Of course. Of course, it's always a Skitty. I hate you, Skitty. You're not even a good monster. Alright, well, if I throw drumsticks out, both monsters should level. So I think that's what we'll do. You whip your tail around, Skitty. Ugh. Oh, come on. Well, now I'm just going to try and run out the sleep clock, preferably without dying. So I kind of want that level. Crits. Wake up, drumsticks. You're needed. How can you attract me? I'm asleep. I can't be attracted to something I'm asleep and ignoring. Pokemon, you're being weird. Yep, that's gonna be drumsticks, I think. Okay, how did you double slap me 3 times? That's not double, that is triple. Okay, fine. Let's get some experience for Garm. I'm gonna take a crap ton of damage from that, I feel. Seriously? Smug little cat jerk. Fine. You missed. I didn't. Ah, come on. If it's not singing, it's infatuation. Oh, Skitty. You're annoying. Fortunately, even while in love, I'm still going to cut you in half with metal claws. Okay, well, it didn't sing, at least. That's a plus. Please attack. Thank you. Wow, that fight was a lot more catastrophic than it had any right to be. Alright, what do we have? Not much. I'm betting he has water monsters. Just throwing that out there, though. Oh good, we've got another Magikarp guy. Okay, fine. I will run out the sleep clock on this guy, because why not? Nothing happened. Something's about to happen, Magikarp. Spoilers. Okay, why is it Double Slap can hit 3 times, but Fury Swipes, an attack that's supposed to hit 3 to 5 times, doesn't do more than 2? There. You're dead. What else you got? Throw out your tentacool. I'm not terribly afraid of it. Until it does that, then I'm horrified of it. You know how it is. Gotta be terrified of the thing that can confuse you. Alright, that's 3. And yeah, I actually got experience from that fight. Nice. Oh, and another Magikarp. You got me all excited, Magikarp guy. Why do you have a level 15 Magikarp? I don't even think it has tackle at that level, which is depressing. Because it's the one move it gets. Alright, well, let's go. I'll just keep doing this. It gives me, like, insane experience, because it's level 15. Oh no, it does have tackle. Right on. It did 2 damage. Good on you, Magikarp. That was not worth the effort. I don't think this guy's a fight. Oh, we can save some time. Because teleport. Awesome. We can still make some work towards the next town. Although I know there's a fight up ahead. A fight I'm not sure we're capable of winning given how much trouble we had against Brawly. But we'll see what we can do. What's our team look like? 15, 15, 15. Alright. Now we're at least sort of averaging out our levels again. That's good. We're kind of at a point where we're catching up. That's what we want. Alright, low road. On dire hits. I don't know what that does. I don't care. Fight me, kid. I need the experience. I don't think you found cool Pokemon. I think you found no monsters at all. Oh, you found 3. But you couldn't find a Poochyena out here. They don't spawn out here. I know that for a fact. Again, that should be doing at least 3 hits, not 2. Still, you know, everyone is at level 15 at this point. You're going to raise your attack. But if you don't actually attack me, that does literally nothing. And now you're dead. So sad. Do I wish to fight Aron? Not really. I don't know how well this is going to work, but it is a steel type, so maybe Ember will do something to it. Also, you couldn't find Aron around here either. Your entire team dynamic doesn't make sense for what you said. I'm going to get a level out of this. Alright, go get him drumsticks. 16. I get a bird move for the first time ever. Hell yeah. See a scratch. I don't think you're going to be that useful to me at any point. I'll swap you for Peck. Electrike. What would be good against Electrike? I guess it doesn't really matter. I think Aegis with its Earth attack would probably be our best bet. Wow. That's an actual monster you can run into around here. That must be the one monster it was talking about. His line doesn't make a lot of sense, though. Because I think he said monsters, and he only has one monster that's native to this area. It's a little strange. Now I could try and, you know, mud slap you again, but I think I'd rather just save that. Because I think you have like 1 health anyway. Nice work, Aegis. Alright. Hey, Drumsticks is evolving. Hooray! Finally something evolves on our team. And now our little tiny chick thing becomes a silly turkey. Because turkeys. Double kick? Yeah, I want that. Thank you. Goodbye, Growl. Now I've got a fighting move. I can do stuff now. Terrific. Alright, well, we're at least making progress. Oh, good. It's May. I knew this fight was here. I just thought she was a little further along the route. This is one of, I think, 3 times you fight her in the entire game. Wow, that was a crit. Oh, that's sad. Oh, that's depressing. Hey, we finally actually got more than 2 attacks out of Fury Swipes. Nice. Stun Spore. Okay, fine. I'll play it your way. I will throw out my fire type and burn you to the ground. That's what you wanted, right, May? Alright. Burn. And so she did burn that day. I think she might have an Electrike next. I genuinely don't remember what her second monster is, though. I think either Electrike or Wingull, but I don't remember. Marshtomp. That's her starter. Alright, Mia should be okay, I think. I know it has some ground type attacks, but I think we'll be okay with Mia. 20. Of course. Ha! Awesome. Alright, fine. If we're playing that game, I guess I'll summon my big, shiny psychic type. Whoops. Yeah, because teleport's what I wanted to do. You want to kill me in that one? Yeah, I deserve that. That's fine. That's totally okay. That's fine. I'm not going to complain. Yeah, see, that's the problem with our team right now, is half of it's weak to ground. And if we lose to May, I think what I'm gonna do is probably... I think what I'll do is I'll probably, like, level our team up to 20 or so. And then we'll try again next time. Because I don't care so much for any of this grinding nonsense that I've already had to do way too much of for very little actual value today. I don't care for that mud shot. That's a stupid attack. And you should feel bad, May. Or at least I'll get our team up to like 19 or something, because I know a lot of stuff evolves at like level 20. I don't want to take away evolutions. Alright, we just lost. Ah. Stupid May. So that was a day of very little success, running around looking for someone we couldn't find, you know, grinding to fight a guy that we lost to repeatedly until we just decided to Hail Mary, charge in, and win. Oh, that's sad. That was 2 hours of not a lot getting done, and I apologize for that, but you know, stuff like this happens. Anyway, like I said, I'll try and get my team up to like 19, maybe 20, but 20 stuff evolves that, so I kind of want to keep that, you know, live, but we'll try and level some stuff up on the off time. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this rather train wreck of the past 2 hours, and if you did, follow the stream to know when we go live, which is every night. We do Pokemon stuff weekly and other stuff when I have a chance. You might also want to check out and subscribe to my YouTube channel to see significantly more stuff that isn't me just completely whiffing in my favorite Pokemon game. I have no idea how I'm doing this bad. I'm completely without words as to how awful I'm doing at this. This is the one I really like too. Oh, that's sad. But yeah, check out my YouTube channel to see everything else, because there's 1,000,001 crazy different games I've played on there. And if you really want to make my day, check out the show's PayPal or Patreon. Support the show any way you can so that I can continue to do what I do to the best of my abilities. And, you know, hopefully get better and not just suck at them like today. Wow. Just embarrassing how bad this was. But you get yourself on the Discord where we can talk about awesome things like not sucking at Pokemon and the awesome Pokemon you can find. And seriously, how bloody high level is Brawly for when you run into him? It's a little unfair. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this train wreck, and I will see you next time. Peace out, Internet.